We're still recording. Okay, go for it.
One of the things sometimes when you're putting together a report is you have a lot of data. There's a lot of question about just having a full transcription. And a full transcription is too much in cases where you just need to file probable cause or a warrantless affidavit, something where we just need a few paragraphs that are going to summarize the entire incident, puts the main components that need to be in there, and that's it. And no prosecutor wants to end up with a document that's pages and pages and pages and pages because somebody just copied and pasted transcription. And so there are going to be times where you're going to want some help summarizing your document. You're still going to be responsible at this point for making sure that your document is accurate and that there's no hallucinations or anything of that nature within that document. But that being said, to be able to proof 3 paragraphs or 4 paragraphs is significantly easier than trying to proof 10 pages. So this is a great way where you can utilize an agent, and anybody can do this. This makes it so much easier, so much faster for you to be able to summarize your report. Or you may have reports that you're just trying to read or review, and you just want to know, tell me the gist of this, and it will do that for you. So Dave, let's crack away.
Okay, yeah, so we are in Microsoft Copilot for M365. We're going to go to our work tab. Again, we're in an enterprise protected system, and all of these little blue icons, which are changeable so you can have neat looking icons, are agents, simple declarative agents. So we're going to use one called Report Writer, and I'll take you through how I built it, but first let's look at the kind of process here. So I created one prompt with some placeholders, so this could be used over and over again and it could be replicated. So it's provide a report based on this file, and the file, as Chief said, is going to be a transcript file. So I'm going to put in my little add content, go to my files, go find the output from the transcript of the video. And this could actually be automated, and we'll be showing a demo in the future how that gets done. Go to my video indexer folder, which is where I'm keeping these, and we're going to use this simple one that you've seen us use before called Chicken Sandwich. It's a pretty short video, but it's interesting. So again, this is the file, so I've asked her to put that out. So that's one piece of information I have to find, is what is it grounded in? So what's it writing about? And then I've also got this placeholder for case number, knowing that that would have to be something that you would automate if you wanted to pick up the case number that had been stated or something, but we'll just say it's case number 12345. And please focus on accuracy over speed. So trying to say, you know, don't give me a real high level summary, but slow down a little bit and give me some details.
And also remember, when you're looking at your 365, when you click on that, on the right side, there's the columns that he says, hey, these are the agents. So Dave obviously has several agents that he's already built, but you'll see things like add an agent. You'll be able to go in, and he'll show that in a little bit. So stick with us on this and be like, I don't have this capability. What you do, we'll show you how you have it and how it all comes together.
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll notice here, so I have this police incident report and I have some incident details, and you'll notice right here where I have this provide information to be provided in brackets. So I provided those instructions as part of the agent prompt, as well as some data that I gave it, so that I always get the exact same formatting and output, because it's important, right? If it just formatted it different every time, or formatted it different than the way that your department would format it, that's just gonna it's going to take away from the time savings. So information that is not contained in the transcript, there will just be a placeholder for it, so that you can go back as the report writer and add that data in, as well as review and validate the information. So then you just take and copy and paste this into a Word document. It's already formatted, and you can see that it has all of its references because it's been grounded in the transcript, right? It's not going out to the internet and grabbing other random bits of information. It's only focusing on the transcript itself. So that is the speed and output, I didn't make that go any faster. Like I said, this is a very short transcript, but it gathers everything and it gives me the additional information about what was said back and forth between the people. And I can update things like this and make it better depending on your policies around identifying the speakers, etc. So now let's talk a little bit about how I created this and got this to work the way that it did. So I'm going to go here to create an agent, select that,
Again,
go
that's
to,
in your 365. You would see that
that's
on
right.
the right.
Yeah, let me go
And
back and
so,
just highlight it.
you know, well,
There's
yeah,
get
I mean,
agents for
that's
pre-existing.
primarily what people are going to see are those
Yep,
two things. They're not going to see the other agents that you have, but
right.
this is where you know, okay, I can get this, and this is how I go. Go ahead.
Yep. So create an agent allows you to go back and modify your agents. You can create one here just by writing a description, and then it will prompt you and take you through a series of question and answers, or you can just go straight to the configure tab where you can actually add in websites that you want it to use, etc. Give it instructions about the things you want it to do. You can give it additional documents that you want it to ground in for reference as well. So I'm going to go back to my agent so we can talk about the one we just used with the report writer. So I'll grab report writer here and I'll hit the edit button, of course the little pencil. And here's what we did. So I told it, I started out using the descriptive tab. I told it what I wanted and it said, okay, let's name it. And I said, all right, it's called report writer and it does this. So a high level description, it uses the insights and transcripts to create a report from a JSON file output from an indexer. And then I said it does these things, right? It reports, references usage, gives me the document request, case number. I must put that in. Again, right here's where I put that bit that said, zoom in for you, where it said, hey, if you don't know, put in information to be provided. Then I didn't use any URLs because I wasn't looking for any websites to be included in this, but I did put in the police report template. So I said, this is my template. This is the way I want my data to come out, and I want it to come out that way every time. Once I've done that in those instructions, then all I'm doing is what I showed in the beginning of the video. And it has one pre-built starter prompts because I didn't have a whole bunch of different questions I wanted to ask. I could, but all I wanted it to do was give me one question to where in my workflow I could add my file, add my case number, and have it draft the beginnings of my report for my transcript. Once I've done that, think of an agent as a pre-scripted, predefined Copilot prompt that's going to give you a specific output that is replicable. So now you could create this within like the IT department of your department, and then send that out, make it available to where you could just do get agent, and anybody that's writing reports using transcripts could use this same thing and they'd have a very replicable process.
And
I
nowhere
hope it's
in
helpful.
here are you coding,
Yeah, Chief. No,
right?
nowhere in here
You
am I
don't have to
coding.
be an engineer here. You can follow this. This is basic fill in the blank, or you can just use the creator and you can type in those questions and it's just going to give you prompts and you're going to answer those questions. So this becomes very attainable for any day, everyday user to just say, this is what I need in my reports. That template is valuable because many agencies do have formats, or maybe this is a warrantless affidavit. It needs to be done a certain way. Again, all of that information is able to be preloaded so that way it provides the information to you just the way you want it.
Yeah, and we'll dive in the next video into agents with actions where they actually take autonomous actions, moving files, writing from one thing to another. We'll talk a little bit about code interpreter and image generator and some of these other capabilities. But this is the very basics, and to Chief's point, no coding, no real knowledge other than this is what I want to do and iterate on it if you don't quite get the right outputs. It does take, it takes a little bit of skill on the prompting, but pretty easy to get there. And because there's no code, this is essentially a pre-formatted action prompt that you're using with an agent inside of Copilot. Anybody could do it. You're not creating security holes or processes inside of your IT systems.
Terrific.
Chief, anything else, sir?
No, I think this is just another great tool that you can use that's going to make your life 1,000 times easier. It helps you speed up your productivity and reduces stress. At the end of the day, sometimes the monotony creates a lot of stress because we know that it's just going to take a lot of time to get through it. And it's not necessarily the difficulty behind getting through it. It's just the time spent. So having something else like this, utilizing a bot or agent and having it just do it for you just makes your life 1,000 times easier. And now you can compile something very quickly, put something out, and get on with your day.
Awesome. Thanks, Chief, as always. Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone.
thank you, Dave.